Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 134 of the Save Slot 3 Gamescast. I am your host, Eve Gizmo, joined this week by Massive Das.
Hello everyone.
And Mr. C, Lanky.
Hi Dave, I just speedrun a yogurt. Yogurts are great, aren't
And
they?
what was your speedrun time? Any percent?
Well, I think I managed about 3 spoonfuls. I just kind of, heap them in there.
Good boy. I mean, I'm going to be drinking a Starbucks white mocha throughout, so if you hear a slurping, Daddy's coming. But anyway, let's get on to everyone's favourite part of the podcast, the Chris Pengi news desk. Time for some news.
There's 11 items of news.
Oh, baker's dozen.
Number 1, PlayStation shuts down both Firewalk and Neon Koi.
Who's Neon Koi? What did they make?
They make nothing. They didn't even put a game out there. They were making a premium mobile title.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's what they're meant to be doing. And it apparently wasn't gonna live up to their PlayStation's standards.
Wow.
Yeah. So that
What
was
do they expect from mobile?
I don't know.
The cutscenes? Are they expecting millions of dollars worth of cutscenes? You just sit there and watch it on your phone?
I don't know if they
Daddy
mean
issues? Little companion with you? I don't know.
That's a premium PlayStation game. But I don't know if they were thinking Genshin Impact, Call of Duty Mobile, and I don't know, Pokemon Go. They're big mobile titles, aren't they? And like Genshin is like on mobile and console. I don't know if that's what they were thinking, as in a premium. I don't know. And Firewall obviously made Concord.
They're both dead, Jim.
Mm-hmm.
They killed them. Those damn dirty apes, they killed them.
They did. And it's not coming back.
No.
But what you do get, Pengi, soon is you do get the episode of the Amazon anthology series, so that can just live on in your heart, right? You can sit there, you can have your tissues ready, you can just cry hysterically for half an hour and remember those 6 days or whatever it was you had.
Do you know what I really hope, Craigo? That when they get to that episode, it comes up and it's just 404 file not found for 29 minutes. And then they just, they don't pay any attention to it, and then they move on to the next episode.
I hope there's about 5 minutes worth of content and then it's just a blank screen and they're like, no, sorry, we shut it
No,
down.
they should do an in memoriam for all the characters at the end. So it's like a 10-minute thing and then 20 minutes of in the eyes of an angel. And it's just like every character. None of them know the names. So it's like pink fairy dude, mushroom guy, fat guy. not Drax, you know what I mean? But anyway, we should...
Even the players, the 50 players that game had, they could do a little memory service for them, couldn't they? Chris Valley could be there.
Massive Das.
Yeah.
17 trophies.
I was going to say, get my name in the Amazon credits for that.
God.
Supposedly they've learned their lessons from it, though, Dave, apparently.
We'll see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't actually put on there, but the financial thing, apparently, from now going forward, we're expecting at least 1, maybe 2, premium PlayStation games. Craig, so that's, story-driven character game with a sidekick.
Do you know what they're waiting for, Pengi? They're waiting for those dominoes to line up, am I right? We've all heard it before. When are the dominoes lining up for PlayStation?
Yeah.
Story number 2, Pengi.
Speaking on PlayStation Essential games were announced, and they're actually out since I did this news. They are Ghostwire Tokyo, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, and a day 1 game in Death Note Killer Within. Actually, have you been playing one of these? I believe, Dave.
I have been playing Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I played it a little bit on Game Pass as well, to be honest with you. But I think it's a really fun game. It's so much better than the first one. It's wild. That they've obviously had a budget, but I'll talk about it now because I don't have to talk about it later. But yeah, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, good fun ass game. Very doable trophy list because there's only 3 online trophies, and they just play the game online 10 times. You haven't even got to win. So yeah, I've quite enjoyed it. As far as those 3+ games, I think Hot Wheels was the only one for me that was ever going to have any legs.
Mm-hmm. Anything for you, Craig? I'm guessing a no.
No, I tried the first one of that, and I thought it was absolutely dreadful. Death Note, Killer Within. I'll leave that one for you, Pengi. And Ghostwire I played on Game Pass, and I thought that was one of the most mid games ever, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't you play that on Steam Deck, Chris?
Yeah, I played it 8 hours on Steam Deck, and I'm gonna have to agree with Craig. It was very boring.
Yeah.
Both
of those games are quite baffling. Because is it you, Craig, that really likes Deathloop?
No, I think Deathloop's better, but I don't say I really like it.
But yes, it's that weird because that got 10s. And I remember playing it.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what?
I played that when it was like still a PS5. It's like time exclusive, and I was like, "What? This is not good." And like, got loads of 10s. One of those Game of the Years.
Yeah,
I think that's most probably like the weirdest. If you look back at like the Game Awards and or Golden Joysticks or whatever, that's mostly like the weirdest, most forgotten Game of the Year winner now.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
Speaking of Game of the Year winners, though, Pengi.
Dragon Age: The Veilguard is EA's best single-player game launch on Steam.
Oh yeah, you've been playing this, haven't you?
Oh, I have been playing this. So I talk of this. I thought I hadn't actually played that much of it because I'm only on about. I think they've done this acts. I'm on Act 4, and there's like 14 acts looking at the trophies. But I'm a good 5 hours into it, so I guess an hour an act. Roughly, yeah, a good 5 hours. It's so far pretty good. It looks really good. Playing it on a standard PS5, not on a Pro, but it does look good. I haven't got any new characters yet from like my party or anything like that. It's still early game. I'm playing as a mage, but I've also got like a dagger. I've got like a dagger and like an orb, and you like currently fire. You get the items, during the game, and you have the different stats and stuff. Like this one does slightly +2 damage, and this one does +3 critical hits and stuff like that. The one I got now does fire damage and stuff like that because it was more powerful than the frost one or whatever I had beforehand. Yeah, so far it's actually pretty good. Obviously, once I've met all the characters and stuff, go from there, see which ones I like, don't like, use in my party, because at the moment there hasn't really been any options. Like, I've got these characters, and these are the characters I've got to work with, sort of thing. So, like, there's 2 mages, like, at the moment. It's like, I don't need 2 mages. I'm a mage, and there's another mage. I need, like, a warrior or something on the team.
Nice.
Balance it out, yeah.
Nice. Does it look and run pretty well on PS5, or are you really craving the Pro?
No, I'm playing it as the 60 frames mode, and it looks good in that. I know there is a quality mode, it's 30 frames. Weirdly, I have seen this on like the Pro, and apparently, the frame rate is worse on the Pro than it is on the base PS5 because they've added ray tracing in.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it looks better because they've added the ray tracing into the 60 frames mode. That was only on the 30 frames mode, but it does affect the frame rate. I don't think it affects it that much, but it's like it's one of those things.
Unfortunate, Pengi.
And obviously this was on Steam, where EA, I guess, has always been Origins, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah. So the last load of games they have had on Steam, but it has like an Origin launcher within. So like I know both the Jedi games launched to Steam. So it's a really good stat that it's the best thing. And to be honest with you, I feel like Dragon Age is a very PC franchise anyway. So
like, the first one was very PC game, even though I played it on 360.
Yeah, and it's a very modded game, right? Like even the second and Inquisition have got lots and lots of content that people have made. So that's cool.
And that was obviously one of my pickups as well this week. Dragon Age, the Veilguard.
Yeah, I really want it. I've been trying to. I've watched like the opening hour from a couple of different streamers. Did you stream it? I don't. You stream? No, it's Life is Strange.
No, I didn't stream it. Yeah,
but,
I streamed Life is Strange.
But yeah, I'm quite interested. I really like all three of the other games. I think there's very few people that have played all three of them now, so I'm just kind of like, probably should play Veilguard. It doesn't feel like Andromeda to me, put it that way. I think it feels more like in line with the main series. 2 was the Andromeda, I think, for people. But
yeah. The only thing I would say, I know I'm pretty early in, it is being pretty linear at the moment, which for you, I know you don't really like big open world things, but for an RPG like this, it does seem like this is the level, you're going through the level, and you're picking up some new gear in the level, and the new gear is just, how you, your stats and stuff like that. Than like a proper like sort of like RPG thing. But yeah, again, you might like this. Like, this is the forest level now. Cool.
Yeah, that's what 2 was like. I really liked 2. 2 had like a few areas. It had like little zones that you went to. I think 2's quite underrated. But Inquisition was the other way, and Inquisition was just too big. I don't. Did you play? Any of you play Inquisition?
Yep.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? It's like it's overwhelmingly big, and you didn't get. I felt like that it struggled to like get you in the story because it was too big, and like you'd be wandering around the first area, then suddenly you'd hit like an unreal difficulty spike trying to close like one of the rifts. But yeah, really interested to see this.
I guess the only thing is you're saying like story, like this continues after the DLC of where should I know? I never played the DLC.
Or the other one.
So I never. Yeah, Trespass. I think it is. I never played it, so it's like, okay, I'm this character Rook. Actually, who is Rook? Like, it doesn't really explain that. It's like, what's happened to the Inquisitor? I think they're actually in the game. From what I think, but obviously I've not seen them. Yeah, it's like a few stuff like just continues, and like how many people would have actually played that DLC?
Yeah. Inquisition had the same problem because you meet Hawk, who's the character from 2. Like, and he's like bigged up, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck is this?" It's just like, and mine I think was even my like player-made character as well. So obviously my Inquisitor and my Hawk looked identical because I always make my guys dark hair with beard because that's just, and for you to it'd be Asian women, right? So, but yeah, Dragon Age. You interested in Dragon Age, Craigo?
Maybe at some point. The combat looks very cool.
Yeah.
But there's a lot coming out, isn't there?
And
it also looks like a game which is very much about the message.
It's one. Yeah, it's a difficult one because I've seen a lot of back and forth with that, and like I'm not, as you know, I'm not a great lover of the woke stuff either. But to me, Dragon Age and Mass Effect have always been very like that. Like Dragon Age 1 and Mass Effect 1 have like LGBTQ plus stuff in it, like, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really, as long as it's not like too much, like as in like forced at you, I'm not fussed. Like I'm like, there was characters like that in Mass Effect.
Well, I don't know, I saw some stuff that looked pretty forced.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything beyond the first hour, so I will hold my judgment till I play it myself. But like, yeah, I think the combat looks fun enough for me to just play it, you know?
Yes. Anyway, next item of news. Xenoblade Chronicles X is being ported to the Switch March 2025.
None of us care, right?
Wii U. No, you love the Switch, Dave.
I do, but I've already played Xenoblade. So I don't need to play it again.
You've already played it. Keeps the Switch going, I guess, until March 2025.
Well, yeah, they have dropped off a cliff, haven't they? It's finally slowed down. Like, I think even anecdotally, like, obviously we talk quite a lot on a Nintendo forum, but like, no one really seems to be bothered with the Switch at the moment, do they? I think, personally. I think everyone's done with it. They're like, I've played everything I want to play. We'll all play Pokemon in January, and that'll be that, won't it?
Yes. Yes, and poor Wii U.
Do you think we get the next the announcement this year still?
Nope.
Do you think that's
it's too late now. No, it's way too late now.
They did say we would hear more this year, didn't they?
They did. I think. I think that they're kind of still figuring stuff out because Nintendo don't tend to announce anything until it's ready. So like if there's a game that they want to launch it with and that's been delayed by a month, then that'll delay the announcement, I think. But I'd be amazed unless it's at a show, which they've never done before. They've never done like a Game Awards. Here's the Switch 2. They might do a trailer or somewhere like that, but I can't. Personally, I don't see it. But you never know with the Keeleys.
No, I just can't see it. No. Nintendo, a bit like Rockstar, just won't, just do their own thing. Sort of
At the same time, hopefully, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, can you
That'd
imagine?
really piss him off, wouldn't it? That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit odd one because the statement still is the announcement's going to come before the end of the fiscal year, which is March 31st. But it's just like, okay, if it's then, if it's March 30th, you announce the Switch 2, announcement. When is the Switch 2? October, November, 2025, which I very much do think it will be now, late 2025. Which seems mental. That'd be like 9 years to Switch or something.
Well, it's just wild that you got another whole year to try and sell Switches. That seems even for Nintendo a bit of a bad idea.
Yeah. Sticking on Nintendo Music is out now for Nintendo Switch members. So have you downloaded that on your phone?
I have.
Dave?
For the point of this conversation, I have.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Okay.
It's a Spotify with Nintendo soundtracks on it. That is what it is. That's cool. But I don't know about you. I don't often want to sit and listen to NES soundtracks. Thank you, but
No, not really. There might be some good Zelda music and stuff
I mean-
in the newer Zeldas.
have I chucked some F-Zero on while I've been in the car? Yeah. But other than that, it's not really had much point.
Not for you, Craig. Well, one, you're not a Switch Online member, I guess. Well, you might still be. I don't know how your subscription works.
I don't think so. It is weird they didn't just put their stuff on like Spotify, though, isn't it? It's very
Like everyone else does. I don't know.
yeah, that would just make a lot of sense, wouldn't it?
Because it's Nintendo.
Literally.
That's literally the reason. Talking about putting stuff elsewhere, Age of Empires 2, is it coming to PS5, Dave? Because play testers have been spotted on PSN.
It would be very cool if it did, because to give that game another life again would be an excuse for me and Craig to beat some PlayStation 5 players into the ground. On crossplay.
What about you, Craigie? Would you beat PlayStation gamers to the ground with some crossplay action?
But definitely, if you were playing on the PlayStation, Pengi, that'd be an absolute slaughter. wouldn't it?
Think of the low yellow legends on fucking
It's
PS5.
Pengelly trying to figure out how to kill a fucking boar. That'd be worth watching, wouldn't it? Christ.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good that this is definitely one of the ones that you would hope would just go onto everything, because the game is so well managed now.
It is. It's getting so much content as well. This game came out in 1999, didn't it? I think Age of Empires 2. And we're sat here 25 years later going, like, me and Craig still watch fucking YouTubers and Twitch streams of it, don't we? Like, we still do. We played like 100 hours of that game as well. Wild.
Yeah, the community is still massive and very engaged. Still gets content all the time. So yeah, the more people that can play it, definitely the better.
I'm hoping they do 3 soon. I really liked 3. Because 4 is a bit too big for me, but 3 still kind of plays like 2. But it's like
it's really
American
hard,
Revolution.
Everyone just wants to play 2 Definitive Edition.
It's true.
And the more you splinter it, like
What we need, Craigo, is the fucking Star Wars one they did using the Age of Empires 2 engine. That's what we need. Is it Galactic Battlegrounds, Pengi, I think it was called?
Yeah, something like
It's
that.
literally Age of Empires 2 reskinned with Star Wars characters, Craigo. I want to be Jar Jar Binks, and I want to fight against the Empire.
unfortunately, Dave, they've killed Star Wars. So.
Ooh!
They killed Star Wars. What hasn't been killed, though, is Private Division, because Take-Two has sold them to an unknown buyer who gets the existing and unreleased titles such as Tales of the Shire, a Lord of the Rings game.
Oh, saved, Craigo. Lord of the Animal Crossing has been saved for us.
Yeah, we nearly had a disaster on our hands, didn't we?
We did. Speaking of, sorry, this is completely derailed this conversation. I saw that the Gollum Precious Edition was on sale for like £3 from £99 on the PlayStation 5 store the other day, and I giggled to myself. But carry on.
Oh, do you not buy it?
Craig bought me a physical copy, so I don't need to buy it.
Oh yeah.
So
The stream one day.
it
I'm
is.
looking at Private Division games here. There's some good stuff in there in action fans to them. They've They've done well. It sounds like not Rocks. Take-Two just couldn't be bothered at this point. It sounds like they're still making money. They're just like it's just not enough money for them to be interested. Essentially.
Yeah, I don't think Chris put this extra news story in, but they did an investor call and they basically were like, yeah, we're putting out Borderlands 4, and then later than that we're putting on GTA. That's all we need, and they won't be coming out next to each other. You're like, cool, you've ticked your boxes. That's your games. That's all you need. You got your sports games as well. Like you're fine. No company will make more money next year than Take-Two. Trust me. So it will be fine.
No, but it's good that this isn't just dying into the void. That hopefully someone sensible has bought this, and
but who
can
is?
live on, and not just in our dreams.
But Craig, who's the unknown buyer? Because the name on the contract says Gilmon.
It's probably the fucking the other person after that's all fallen to pieces.
Imagine it.
Destroy that as well. Why not? Run that into the ground.
Yeah. Next one, talking about things going to other consoles like Age of Empire, Death Stranding is now on Xbox, and Luna, published by 505 Games, with Kojima now owning the IP. Craig, have you fired up your Luna? Have you done some cloud gaming?
I haven't. I haven't yet, Pengi.
No.
But it is a out of nowhere cool release, wasn't it? And I really like the fact that they did is it £18 it was as well?
50% off.
Yeah. Just for the release period, I thought that's very, very clever. Because this is a game that a lot of people want to play, and you could see it on social media. People were very hyped to be getting it for so cheap. So yeah, it's very cool that it's come across. I guess that means that the second one eventually will also come to pretty much everything, you'd imagine, right? You'd imagine that Death Stranding would be on the Switch too as well, right? So
yeah,
could be.
Comes out. So that's good, and that more people can walk around carrying the big boxes and deliver some parcels.
I was gonna say, he has put the game on literally every system now, apart from the Switch. So
it's
I
on
can see
Apple.
The
it's on everything.
Yeah, it's on
Switch,
phones.
though, wasn't it? So
No,
the Switch 2 is the big hope.
Yeah, I can see Death Stranding going to that. What about you, Dave? Have you fired up the Luna?
I haven't,
cloud gaming,
but I have used a £10 rewards points card to purchase it on Xbox.
Have you?
Yeah, because all of my subscriptions are ending soon. Because I think it is on Plus.
Yes.
But
I think both versions on Plus.
Yeah, but I can't afford to have both subscriptions running until there's like a big, like when they do their big schmoz Black Friday sale, and it's like that tends to be when I renew the yearly subscriptions for PlayStation. But that's running out soon. And I said to you the other day, I've played the intro of it a couple of months ago, and I was like, I actually quite enjoyed it. I was just finishing stuff, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what Chris Pengelly always tells us to do, and I'm going to support the devs. So I bought it. It was like Craig said, it was $17.99 at the moment. So I had a £10 gift voucher. It cost $7.99. Runs at 60 frames on the S, as well as it does on the X. So I watched a video where they were like, yeah, they for some reason both modes are 60 frames. So just pick quality. Looks great. I loaded it up just to make sure it runs fine, and so I'm quite looking forward to it actually. But I would imagine it does mean, like Craig said, that whatever deal they've done for Death Stranding 2 will be timed as well, now that they don't own the IP. But I can't imagine it will be the full 5 years again. I feel like Kojima can kind of say what he wants. So if he's like 1 year, 2 years, I think that's probably more likely.
Yeah.
Because the PC market is where they make all their money. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was normally they're like 1 or 2 years, aren't they? These, even though there's some weird ones like Final Fantasy VII Remake, it literally said on the box, like, that was like 6 years ago. But then, Forspoken, well, that still hasn't come over yet, but that had a 2 year on the box. Silent Hill 2 had a year on the box. So
yeah, I think it's absolutely the late PS4 era deals, and they can't do the same deals now, because I think Remake came out in 2020, didn't it?
Yes.
So if that's another 5-year deal thing, that'll be next year, be February next year. So if you suddenly see Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to Xbox in February, March 2025, we know that all of those PS4 deals were 5-year deals, and all of those developers have been like, we don't want these side of deals anymore, we need to be on everything, because the games cost too much to make. Even if we only sell, say this sells 500,000 copies on Xbox, like that's 500,000 copies they wouldn't have sold otherwise, right? So let alone Luna and Windows PC and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm looking forward to getting into it, 'cause it looks really interesting. I actually think, and this is a weird phrase, I actually think Craig might vibe with this quite a lot. From the intro I played, I was like, this is a very Craig game, to be honest with you. Like, it's very like, it's
Does it have stealth?
Not really.
Not really.
The director's cut makes a point to be like, oh, you've got more guns, more melee options, you've got a fucking car you can drive. There's like a full-on like Gran Turismo mini game as well. Yeah, it's not particularly stealthy. The stealthy bits are the horror bits, so they're more like using your abilities to not set off the fucking giant monsters from eating your ass, basically. But yeah, it looks quite cool. I'm genuinely quite interested to play it and give my opinion of it, because a few people I know that have played it love it, and it's not just Chris that loves Kojima. It's people that don't like Metal Gear that have played it and they're like, oh yeah, like my friend Pete's got like 90 hours in it and he hates stealth more than me and you do, Craig. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give it a go.
Actually, I haven't got it. It reminds me of, I think it was yesterday, trailer talking about games coming elsewhere and stuff like that. No Man's Sky is getting a cross-save patch. They had a trailer where they had an Xbox plugged in, a PlayStation, Switch, VR headsets, PC, Mac, and everything, and they had like the same save running on. I don't know if it actually was real time, but like the same save running on all the systems, at the same time, and it has Pro patch as well, which I believe is 8K, even if you have an 8K display. But I thought that was actually pretty cool. And No Man's, it's quite late. Like, when did that game come out, Dave? Like, we were talking about that like 8 years ago.
Yeah, we did the launch day stream, didn't we? Me and you for that.
Yeah.
But it's wild how much that game has turned it around now. And it's like, if I had the time, that's one of those games I always look at trailers and stuff and I'm like, fuck, this game looks fun, but I just don't have
it does look really like good now, but it's like you said,
the time to get into it. But yeah, love it.
I can see it, like how I would use it if I not like if I still had like the Steam Deck or whatever. I'm like, I can use my save between the two of them. That sort of thing. If I had like a console and a handheld, or I don't know, suddenly bought a gaming PC, but it does seem quite late to do something like that. The opposite of putting games elsewhere and stuff is Sega are delisting a bunch of classic games of Xbox, Steam, PlayStation, but they have confirmed Virtual Fighter is coming back though.
Nice.
So if you want Crazy Taxi on your Xbox 360, you got to go. Well, actually, you can't go buy it now because the 360.
You can. It's backwards compatible.
Okay,
it's
so
£6.75.
So if you want Crazy Taxi on your Xbox 360, go buy it now for £6 something for like 25 before it gets delisted. It's
a really weird thing because I have all of the backwards compatible games wishlisted because I'm always aware that at any point they can be taken off, and obviously that's one of the things I love about the Xbox is that you can buy so many 360 and Xbox original games. But I still think it's weird that they were all on there because it's like a huge classics range that they've re-released in other ways, and then I've always like, have they forgotten to turn them off? Like, it's like Crazy Taxi's on there, Daytona USA's on there, Virtual On, like some really deep cut like games that are all under, I think they're all £6 or £5. But yeah, I think they've said it's to be delisted fairly soon. I own all of the ones I want to play, including Crazy Taxi, so I probably won't pick any of them up. But we know there's a big Sega thing coming next year. They're kind of flying high off Atlas right now and RGG, so I kind of feel like it's the actual Sega side of it that needs to come flying. And we know that they've got like 10 games in development. So I think as long as they give Sonic a year off, I think Sonic needs a year off. But everything else, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be quite a big year, I think, for Sega next year. I'm looking forward to their new stuff. And Virtual Fighter, when was the last one? Was it 5? Final Showdown?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was ages ago. I remember it was like an early PS3 game, wasn't it? I know they ported re-released it.
Yeah, because didn't they do like a free-to-play version as well on PS4? Yeah, I remember that because you could play as Kiryu in one of them, couldn't you?
Yeah.
They added him as DLC. So I think we did a news story on it, Chris, like 2016, something like that, you know.
Yes. The one people seem to be talking about most of this delisting is those the big race list is the Mega Drive collection that they
Yeah.
put out a couple of years ago. But everyone's like pointing out there is a physical of that game, so that's the. I guess it's because it's got like 50 games in the collection, and like 50 games are suddenly disappearing.
Yeah, they
So-
did it before, didn't they? Because the PS3 similar compilation game got pulled, and then they
Mhm.
put this one out that had slightly different games, and obviously there's the free one that's on Nintendo that
Yeah.
has like stuff. But I think that Mega Drive collection is digitally always on sale, and I think right now it's about $4.99. So if you really want to play Mega Drive games, play them. But they'll do next year. They'll do another one. There'll be a PS5 specific Mega Drive collection.
Yeah.
We want a Saturn and a Dreamcast collection, but we don't get what we want, Chris.
Maybe they do that. Maybe that's why they're delisting Crazy Taxi and stuff. They do, put all them in one collection and charge you 50 for
32X
it.
collection, Chris. I want to play Virtual Fighter 2 and Star Wars, the movie, the game, whatever the fuck it was called.
No. Next news, I'm going to jump ahead to this one a second. It's Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered has now got a demo. We'll be checking out the demo, Craig, because you do like some Capcom. I know you didn't like this game back in the day, but as it's got a demo now.
No, probably not. No, I really didn't like this game back in the day. Really, really did not like this game. It's one of the few games I felt like I bought it randomly and then took it back like the next day or something like that. Dead Rising 3, is it the
Yeah.
open world one that they did for the Xbox One launch? That fantastic, but yeah, no, not the originals.
Not the original. Dave, what about you?
No, I played the original on the 360. I had the problem where I played it on a standard def TV, Chris, if you remember.
Oh,
So you
yeah,
couldn't
it
read
was,
any
like,
text.
unplayable.
But yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of games to play, like Craig said. I think I have the last remaster via gold as well. But Dead Rising's a funny franchise because I think if they were to do a fancied up version of 3 that they put on Game Pass or something that me and Craig could co-op, then I'd be up for it. But yeah, I'm in no great desire. How about you?
No, I'm not fussed whatsoever. I've never really been fussed on the series, to be honest.
Love it.
It's weird because they did 4, and then 4 looked like
4 was terrible,
more
wasn't
of a more of a return to 1 and 2, and it was like, oh, but 3 was really good. Why don't you do another version of 3? It's like you've lost me.
3 had the best DLC of any Capcom game at the time.
Which one had the Super Deluxe
3.
Turbo HD Yeah.
One of my favourite E3 trailers, the Dead Rising 3 Super Arcade Hero Edition EX Plus Alpha Hyper Edition or whatever they called it. Fucking hilarious. Like £3. It was really fun. But yeah, Dead Rising 3 was a great game. Very underrated. It never came to PS4, did it? That stayed exclusive.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a weird one.
And the last news, and I'm going to quote this. This is Furukawa. At today's corporate management policy briefing, we have announced that Nintendo Switch software will also be playable on the successor to the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch Online will be available on the successor to Nintendo Switch as well. Further information about the successor to Nintendo Switch, including its compatibility with Nintendo Switch, will be announced at a later date.
I feel like he didn't say it in English. Could you read it in Japanese for me, please, Chris?
No, I'm not going to do that for you.
So-
You get it in English.
So they've given us news with that there is no news, and obvious news is news, Craigo. The Switch 2 is gonna be a Switch 2. Who knew?
Crazy.
It's good. This is basically saying it's backwards compatible, right? Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, that's positive though, isn't it?
I mean, we all knew it was
Because
gonna be,
it wouldn't
but-
have put if it wasn't, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, imagine they did a fucking Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Turbo Hyper HD Plus Alpha Edition. I'd have bought it. Best
Yeah.
game on the console.
I still think they'd do that with Breath of the Wild.
Oh god.
Thing with 4K. This is good news for me because when we did the episode when I said I sold my Switch, I'm like, well, there's not much I want to play. There's the new Zelda, there's Pokemon, and there's Metroid. There's 3 games. And knowing, you'll know me, I'll buy a Switch 2 at launch, even if I say I'm not going to because there's nothing I want to play. and then when there is nothing I want to play, I can play those free games. So, so that's basically it's like, oh yeah, good job. I sort of did sell my Switch. Yeah, the most money
forward planning for the Pengi.
Yes, and that is the news.
Nice. Do love a bit of news, right? So let's get on to the TOTS number 1. Actually, we're not going to do TOTS number 1 because it's going to be covered in what we played. So let's ignore that. I'm calling audible. So let's do the actual TOTS. TOTS. So, rest of 2024, we want to have a little chat about our plans and hopes and dreams of what we want to play between now and New Year's Eve. Obviously, we always tend to do Christmas episodes, I think, but they tend to be more themed around, obviously, the Fantasy Critics stuff or backlogs and all that fun stuff.
And then we'll go through the Game Awards where we vote on all 20 things and see.
We'll go through the Keeleys and Craig will get more and more exasperated by what is and isn't there, and I'll just be shaking my head at Indie Game Woke of the Year or whatever that award's called.
You mean Games for Impact?
That's the one.
Games for Impact.
Every year I'm like, where's Worms WMD? Great game. But yes, we're going to talk about the rest of the year. So Chris Pengi, I know you've got some prepared paragraphs.
Yes.
So what is the Massive Das plan between now and 2025?
So the plan is we're on PS4 Pro Watch, PS4, PS5 Pro Watch.
Do we need a graphic and a small song? So every week Craig can hit a klaxon and the PS5 Pro disc watch begins.
Could do.
How much more is it just to buy one off of for more than RRP at this point?
Oh, it's like 70-80 quid more. It's like double the price, Craig.
But how much time have you invested of your own time now trying to track down one for RRP?
I've only used not that much time, looking on the internet.
Sure?
And I've got the alerts if they come in stock anywhere. Stock Informer or whatever will tell me that they're in stock.
I feel like at this point you could have just done a couple of extra hours of work and just bought it for the more.
No.
I've got another question.
You'd rather spend 3 times the time just trawling and going to shops.
So it's the thrill of the hunt. Thrill of the hunt, Craig. Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like the most sensible use of his time. You know what I mean? You could have just bought one this way.
I told you he dresses up every night. But my second point to this, Chris, when do we get to the point where you've got enough digital backlog to cover, say, a month and a half of hunting for a disk drive?
I most probably have enough digital backlog.
It's 6 years worth of digital backlog, Dave.
I know, but it's not the same as mine and yours backlog. This is the Chris Pengelly backlog because he's played everything that's ever come out on the console. They send it to Chris first before it goes on the store. So yeah, that was my only thing, because I think obviously I'm reading. I've got behind the scenes notes here. So I'm assuming that Horizon you have digitally.
Because I bought the £10 upgrade.
Yeah.
So I have that digital.
That's
one of my pickups.
Demon Souls you have digitally.
Because it's on Plus.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate I own digitally. Yeah.
Cool. GT7, if you get it, you'll get it digitally anyway, right? With my first GT.
No, that's the thing. I would mostly just play my first GT.
Well, you had GT7.
I remember I sold it when I sold my PSVR 2.
Yeah, but
what else we got?
My first GT, we don't know is going to be Pro Enhanced. I just assume it's
going to be
because of GT7.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be built almost in the game, almost like a trial. What else we got on this list? Helldivers 2, obviously. You have digitally. Marvel Rivals, digital.
That's going to be digital.
I don't know what Rogue Flight is. That was physical. You've written it down. My bad. Until Dawn, that'll be physical or digital?
Yeah, that'll be physical.
It's got, and obviously Wolverine's not going to come out this year. So I reckon you could probably keep yourself going comfortably until.
And obviously, there's other digital games I own that aren't pro games sort of thing. This is just obviously from the pro list up.
Yeah, could it be like a good clear out almost, like if you gave yourself a month? Because I think, like Craig said, I think if you were to buy the Pro and play the Pro, sell your PS5. Sorry, I'm still dying. Oh dear. And then you get to December, and they still haven't stocked one, which I feel like they will have by December. you could just go, you know what, fuck it. One on eBay. They've stopped really selling on eBay, so one's £130, or it's in CEX for £110 or something. You could maybe still do it. It's difficult because I know how badly you want the Pro.
There's a fatal flaw in your logic, though, Dave.
What's that, my sweet little Krogo?
So Kay's saying that Pengi owns these games, yeah, digitally.
Yeah.
But does he actually want to play them? Because Pengi owns a lot of video games.
Well, they're on his list. He must want to play them.
Yeah, there's a reason he hasn't played these games yet, isn't there, Pengi?
Yeah,
yeah.
To Craig's point, Horizon is remaster I do want to play, and I just literally, it's one of my pickups this sort of week of the £10 upgrade. Never played Frozen Wilds, so now I got a Pro patch, so that's one I definitely want to play. Demon's Souls, definitely want to at least try it after playing Elden Ring, so there's that. I would definitely agree with Craig with Baldur's Gate 3. Like, how long has that been on my PlayStation? I've not played it. Am I actually going to play it? No.
How many times have you owned fucking Demon's Souls? Christ.
I've only owned it once, physical, when my launch PS5. Unless you want to count the PS3 version. Like, GT is a demo. Helldivers I own, and
you don't want to play it. You never play it.
I never play it. So Marvel Rivals is December, and then we're talking about stuff that I haven't picked up yet, like an Until Dawn remake or Wolverine. Like Dragon Age is physical thing. So out of the digital lot, if I had a Pro, there's Horizon would take a while is to play, like you said.
Yeah, it's about a 70-hour game. 60 if you've been really quick, I think.
Yeah, so that'd be fake. And I do have other digital games and stuff added to Plus, and there's the retro games and things like that on there that I've not played that I could play if it's digital only. The problem is I have got already bought the Rogue Flight physical for 11p because I used 20 quid worth of vouchers on Game Collection, so I got that coming for 11p. Like, I've already got that physical coming. And I've also already got a Lego Horizons physical coming next week. So it's like, if I buy the Pro, okay, my Lego Horizons I can't play on it, for instance.
But do we go even more stupid though, Chris?
Yeah.
And you buy a Pro and a Slim with disk drive. Take the disk drive from the Slim and then sell the Slim as a Slim digital online.
No, I don't know how much you can get for that because obviously it'd be missing a faceplate.
I think you need the Steiner math on it.
Yeah.
Buy some crazy USA printed fucking case cover for it. Sell it as a special edition. Fuck them.
Yeah, the special only free plates edition.
Right, the Freedom edition.
I
love it. I love it, Craigo.
Nice. But we are on Pro Watch.
We're on Pro Watch.
So that's part of the rest of the year is on Pro Watch. There's backlog, which obviously the main ones are like Never or Neva, whatever you call it, which thing. Sonic Cross Channel Generations and Vision of Mana. They're like the big three that I will get to, soon. Like Never, I can see that being quite soon, because game when we get to play it, that will replace that sort of thing. There's other things like Persona 3 Reload I really need to get to. And stuff again, like this is going back to if I did have a Pro, there's the 2-hour trial which I could play into, and then I get to my physical copy, sort of thing. On Xbox, not so much, but Age of Mythology, I still want to check that out. COD, I haven't played any yet, and Path of the Goddess, when we had that bit where they released 5-day one games in 1 week on Game Pass, played Dungeon of Hinterberg, that was great. Path of the Goddess is mostly the one after that. There's a lot that I do really want to play that I've not got to, and I know Craig, you really like that one. There's a few other Game Pass games that was added, like Flintlock and Botany Manor and things like that. It's do I really want to play them? There's loads to play, but Path of the Goddess, the one that really stands out from the Game Pass stuff that's come this year.
Nice.
I've just looked at what Rogue Flight is as well. I've never even heard of that.
No, I'd never heard of it.
On rails flying game, Alexa. Interesting, Pengi. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's also 40 minutes long, apparently. So.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
But I paid 11p in cash for it, so
It's not even a Freddo anymore, Craigie.
it's not even a friend. But then obviously you got left of the year. You have got other releases where you got November. You've got Lego Horizon, which is next week. That'd be pretty good thing. And that is like it for November. November I think is pretty bad month. I did on my channel like what's coming in November, and I could barely get to 5 games, and Lego Horizon is to 1. And then December we got Fantavision, Fantasian.
I was going to say, the fucking Fantavision remake. Where's that slept through?
No, Fantasia Neo Dimension from Square, Marvel Rivals, which are free to play, and it's got a date now in the UK. It's physical on the 12th of December, and it's sort of Pro enhanced, but not officially Pro enhanced. But the extra grunt of the Pro keeps that frame rate good. It's Black Myth Wukong.
The stream that I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, and Indie on Game Pass is also that month. But yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got a pretty decent couple of months then. I think there's some really good games in there. Obviously, Pro Watch is your main concern, which I love.
Yeah, because I think even Black Myth Wukong, even though it's not a Pro enhanced game, it's like, oh, I kind of want the Pro for that because I want, the closer to 60 frames a second in that mode. Where if you look at it now on the base PS5, it's that 60 frame mode is more like 40, all over the place sort of thing. Things I would have. It's like, oh. Even like if I've not got my disc drive on the Pro, like December 12th when that's out, I could see me not picking that up until I have the Pro next year, for instance.
Nice, Pengi, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts before we move over to Craigo?
No.
Nice. Craigo, talk to me.
So I think in terms of new stuff coming out, it's only really. I mean, Indie in December, I would obviously play on Game Pass, and maybe Lego Horizons in November, maybe. That's probably a see what it looks like when it comes out one, though. So it's slightly more interesting now, because now that I know that it's only the first game that it's covering, so I thought it was the first and the second. I was like, well, I'm going to have to wait until I played the second one then, but if it's only the first one, then that's, it's not spoiling the second game for myself. Because that'd be silly, right? But yeah, we'll see what that looks like when it does come out. And then it'll probably just be stuff I've missed throughout the year, / maybe a bit of backloggy fun stuff. Obviously got COD to beat at the moment. I want to play that Neva game as well. I don't think that's too expensive. I think it's like £16 or something like that. I'd probably pick that up and play that. I don't think it's very long either, so it might be quite nice to have a shorter game after the 70 hours of Silent Hill 2. And then, yeah, it'd be more stuff I've probably missed. I do want to go back and get Space Marine because that looks like a lot of fun. So I want to go back and get that at some point as well. And then it might be stuff I'm like years before. The Alan Wake 2 Definitive Edition schmoz might finally get a look in, hopefully. That'd be good, because I've been saying I'm going to play that for,
most
over
of the
a
year
year now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would make sense. And then maybe some more backloggy stuff on PlayStation. The PlayStation Studio stuff that I haven't played, like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, maybe The Last of Us if I have time, because I do still want to watch the TV show as well. I just want to play the game first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about Forbidden West? Horizon Forbidden West.
It's no longer on Plus.
Oh yeah.
So that's the problem. So
I don't think I'm going to squeeze in a 80-hour game at this point.
It's a lot longer than the first one. For Forbidden West.
Yeah, I think I'm squeezing that in the next few months. I'll be honest with you.
I think it's one of those things.
That's one of those where I need like 3 months when nothing comes out, but unfortunately, that just doesn't seem to happen anymore, does it?
What I was going to say to you is there's a lot of these. I think a lot of the games you're talking about are prime candidates for next year's backlog challenge. There's a lot to choose from for next year's backlog challenge. I was thinking this to myself. I was like, even me who doesn't play, is because you guys play all the horror games and stuff, and I don't. I'm like, I'm looking at the non-horror games that are available for next year's 5 games to catch up on, and I'm like, fucking hell, like there's so many games that have come out in the last 18 months that I haven't got anywhere near. Because is Horizon on this year's one for you, Krieger?
Yeah.
You've been screwed by PS Plus.
Well, yeah, that and time as
Yeah.
well, in all honesty. Because Final Fantasy Remake Part 1 was on there as well.
Jesus, yeah, God.
But, having time for 2 big games like that, Davey.
Nice. Is there anything smaller in like a sale or Game Pass that you've got like an eye on if it were to get, say something gets really cheap, or like something comes to Game Pass or anything like that you've been half keeping your eye on?
Not really. I said Neighbours kind of the smaller one. I can't imagine it would go on sale, but it's only just come out and it's done pretty well, I think.
Nice.
But yeah, that's probably the smaller, like, couple of hour one that I want to get to.
Nice.
Nothing else on Game Pass, because like I mentioned, like those 5 games that were like that day one. Like you play Dungeons, you play Path of the Goddess. Like what was the other ones? There's like Creatures of Ava and Flintlock. None of them.
No, I think I'm good on Flintlock. I think Pengi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one I can easily skip over.
Yeah.
Nice. Is that everything you can think of, my dear boy?
Yeah, boy.
Nice. We'll get onto my little list. And so I've been bullet pointing mine because I'm anal. But bullet point number 1, Craigo, backlog on Xbox. So I have a very significantly big backlog on my Xbox because it has obviously 360, One, and Series games that I own. Excuse me. And at the moment, obviously, I'm playing through GTA 4, which is a game that has been sat in my backlog for almost 15 years probably. So I'm trying to get through more games like that. Like obviously I've just picked up Death Stranding. I'd quite like to play that. So I think I've got quite a lot that I can play without having to go out and buy. Say like Dragon Age I could probably hold on until Christmas. You never know if an auntie's going to get you a gift card and you can just kind of go and pick something up. So I don't think I'm going to buy anything dramatic on Xbox in the coming months. And obviously Game Pass has COD, which we're enjoying the multiplayer of, and we'll talk about a bit more in a bit. And I want to play the single player and zombies. Metal Slug Tactics has just come out, which has been one of my most anticipated games for a while, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that, because obviously really like that style of game and I love Metal Slug. So I don't know if you've seen Metal Slug Tactics yet, Krieger, but I think you might quite like it. It's kind of similar to, what was the one you played? Is it Triangle Strategy? Played? It's kind of similar to that, but obviously it's Metal Slug, so it's much on a smaller scale, and it's just funnier because it's Metal Slug. And obviously Indiana Jones. I'm very fascinated with Indiana Jones because it's creeping up on us. And all the previews I've seen have been the good to interesting. So I'm looking forward to playing that on Game Pass. PS5, Cyberpunk 2077 is the main one because that's the last feasible game on this year's backlog thing for me. So I want to get through that. I've had that for a while. Obviously playing Hot Wheels at the moment, and I have dabbled in Horizon Forbidden West, but it continues to be a boring game, which really upsets me every time I load it up, and I'm like, why is it so boring? But it just is boring. I don't really know why. And then point 4 I've got on here is just to look out stuff on my wish list for significantly discounted games. So I don't know about you guys, but I do tend to have quite active wish lists on Xbox and PlayStation, and if games drop, so usually I have a price in my head for a game. So let's use Death Stranding as an example. If that game was £24, I wouldn't have bought it, but the fact that it dropped at 50%, that was already quite cheap anyway, plus some money off, I think that's a really good bargain for a game like that. And there's games on there that I have that like very rarely go on the sale price I want. It's obviously one day we'll get Dirt 5's fucking year 1 edition. It will go on sale. It goes on sale every freaking time on PlayStation, by the way, that upgrade, but never goes on sale on Xbox. But like that's what I mean by my wish list for stuff like that. And yeah, just try not to buy games and sell them because it's been a really bad year for it. Last couple of months I've been a lot better, but like it's been pretty horrendous, and I can't see me playing anything on Switch other than like party games when people are here, because that's what you do, right? So
you get those violins. The Switch is even dead for days.
Well, it's just like we play Mario Kart and like Splatoon and stuff like that. But I'm not like, I played Tears of the Kingdom and it was fine, but I've got no desire to buy Echoes of Wisdom. I've got no desire to play Peach Showtime or And Mario and Luigi's a series I love, but I look at it and think, well, yeah, I could play 30, 40 hours of that, but I also already own Cyberpunk, I already own Death Stranding, I already own COD. I might as well just play. Like, I'm not really playing too much in bed that I don't have a console for, so yeah, that's me. I think
the thing is with the Switch as well at the moment is just like, because I know that Mario and Luigi game, one of the things I saw people moaning about was performance on the Switch, and it's like, well, if it's going to be backwards compatible,
yeah,
and there's probably not going to be much around launch, because let's be honest, there doesn't tend to be much around any console for launch. Then you could just wait and then play them at launch on the Switch too, and it would probably run a lot better, right? So
yeah, and it's one of those with Nintendo games. It's not like they're going to go out of print or they're going to get any cheaper. So it's like I could buy that game today, or I could buy that game in 7 months' time. It's still going to be $41.99. You know what I mean? So it's like it can wait. It doesn't have stuff like trophies and achievements to sort of keep you ticking along as well, which is a big problem. It's always been Nintendo's big problem, hasn't it? So, but yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I did for just a moment when talking Game Pass and that. Flight Sim is this month. Any of us gonna check out Flight Sim, because it looks more video gamey this time, with like objectives of go spread on the fields and things like that.
yeah, it depends, because there's like a career mode, isn't there? Right, supposedly. So we'll see what that career mode turns out to be. Because some of the, like, when they did the jobs that they were announcing, where it was like, you have mountain rescue and stuff like that, you can see that just being like a fun, silly, like, oh, we do this once and then we go and we're putting out fires from the airplane or something like that, and you do that once. I can see that maybe being quite fun. So yeah, we'll see. I'd be interested to see what that career mode entails, definitely, when it comes out.
Yeah, same. It's one of those I think I'll watch. Probably Snowbite Mike stream it and then go from there.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's the tots. Let's talk about what we've been buying and playing. Pengi,
Yes.
you can go first because you are Chris Pengelly.
Cool. So pickups obviously was Dragon Age Velguard. Let's talk about that, and the Life is Strange £10 upgrade. If you want to count that as a pickups, there's that. Other pickups they haven't played are F1 2011, the Vita.
Good year.
Good year, 20 a year. And then Dynasty Warriors 8 Extremes Legends Complete Edition for the Vita.
That's one of
Is that the good one?
I don't know.
There's one that was on Switch that people really liked, I feel. And then there's whatever the last one was the terrible one, the open world one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was 9.
Yeah, I think that's the good one, Pengi. You should probably play that, mate.
I could, yeah.
You won't, I know. You couldn't pay you money to play it. But...
Pretty sure that one, the PS4 version of that, is on Plus, isn't it? Is it that one?
Maybe.
Nice.
And then the last pickup I haven't played is Rune Factory Oceans for the PS3.
One of your favourite buy but don't play franchises, Rune Factory.
Yes.
It's up there with Atelier, I think, for Craigo.
You remember the dark days of the 2 years of Switch, Dave, and all we used to hear about was these fucking games.
I do recall it.
After lists of these games, and me and you just rolling our eyes, being like, "But you're not gonna play them, bro." God.
No.
But it goes in the collection, Craigo.
If Pengles is done, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have the Pony Pengi than that. Christ.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, on the Atelier, I mostly will play Atelier, the new one, the completely new one. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I like the look of it, but I might even play it on Xbox when it goes on sale. Because I'm a freaky little bitch like that, Craigo.
Yes. And not play the other one, because remember there's 2 and one looks like old. Yeah.
Old games are old.
Yeah. And then what I've played, Monster Hunter Wilds, the beta. I streamed me playing the beta, about an hour and a half of playing it. And obviously I made my character, spent like an hour or something, I made my character as well that I didn't stream. But yeah, stream me playing that. It's good. It's fun. It's Monster Hunter. It just runs like poo.
Oh no.
That's its problem.
Yeah, that's the main thing I've seen people saying, is that it runs very badly.
Yeah, Yes.
Hopefully that's what the beta was for, right?
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I have much faith they're fixing this.
No, because Dragon Dogma 2, for instance, same engine, stuff like yeah. The problem, what it runs like poo, and the other problem is the quality mode and the frame rate mode. The quality mode just looks so much better. It's like night and day difference. So you want to play that, but it's like, oh, it's a 30 frames, then it's not 30 frames. Like on the Series S, it's dropping by below 18 frames a second. So it's like, that's you got to then basically play in the performance, and it just not look good. It's like really blurry. It's like someone's had like 2 tubs of Vaseline and smeared on your screen, and then it's not nowhere near 60. It's mostly like 40, 50. The thing. It is on the list of pro. They had an interview where they said that they had people at Sony looking at it or something like that. But as we've seen from Black Myth, the extra grunt has helped a bit. Even though like Black Myth, it goes from 40 to 50, so you're looking at like 40 to 50 on Monster Hunter, and then it's still not going to be that great looking. But the actual game to play, it's, you know, running around on your secret and then getting to your monster and then fighting them is really cool. And I've never used range weapons, and I had a range weapon on, because you can carry 2 weapons on my secret. It's like, oh, I've changed to the light bowgun. I can actually fire from the mount, right? Or when we're heading towards the monster, right, I get some shots in on that, jump off, switch to my longsword, then batter the monster with my longsword. So the actual playing the game is really fun still. And that, like, finding other people to play is pretty quick. In the first mission, it gives you the NPC characters that join you, but still it's like, oh, it's 4 of you hunting. This is quite, still quite cool if you haven't got people online, or there's like you play some of the early missions or something for that. Yeah, so it's fun. Still my most anticipated game for next year. It's just a shame it doesn't run well on anything. I don't think anything like top NPCs is having problems as well. So it's the engine, which seems really weird because everyone like raves about the RE engine, and we've seen how good it looks for like Resident Evil 4 and stuff. But they're not open world, and these open world games like Monster Hunter and Dragon's Dogma seems to be a bit dodgy.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
No. Then the next one was Last Time I Saw You, and this is what Never's going to replace, because I played a lot of this on the portal. I've got a video up on my channel because I got sent a code for this. This is from the same publishers that did A Space for the Unbound and Coffee Talk. Thing is a 2D side-scrolling like puzzle game. There is some light combat and stuff in the thing, and even the puzzles are quite light. It's more narrative driven. It is pretty standard narrative, as like boy meets girl thing. And she's like a goddess thing, and you're just a regular boy in the town, and you gotta go help her. But it looks really good. It's some art studio as well that's made it, so like the actual graphics or the art style of that is really good, especially when it has the cutscenes and that sort of thing, and really works well on the portal, being like the 2D game. Music is quite good as well, and I've got 94% of the trophies on this game. I'm missing 3 trophies. It's got an 8-bit mini game. Can I do the 8-bit mini game, Craig? No, I can't.
Oh, no.
It's really annoying.
Oh, this sounds like... Is it the Tourist, that launch game that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking arcades. That is one of the longest completions I ever got. The fucking that game.
Yeah, I've got this installed, so it's still sort of now and again I'm like, oh, I'll have a go. Because once I've done that, I've unlocked that trophy. I would have unlocked last thing in the gallery, which unlocks the trophy, and then that would unlock the platinum. Like, I got every other gallery item, because I did all the side quests in this game and everything. So it's like a nice little world to be in. It's like 1980s Japan and stuff like that. Stuff like that. It's like all the spirit characters and stuff are all pretty cool. It's a good little game. It's like 15 quid normally to buy it on like PSN, so it's not hugely expensive. And like I said, it's like my Portal game. Now Never sort of going to be the Portal game thing. And then the last one I played, and as a pickup, I hadn't finished, and I streamed the whole, sort of like my whole playthrough on my channel. And that is Life is Strange Double Exposure.
And how is the exposure, Pengi?
It's not good.
Really?
Yeah, this is like one of my least favourite Life is
Wow,
Strange games.
genuinely, that shocks me.
Yeah.
It doesn't shock me. Because I really, me and Mr. Bua were talking about this in work the other day. And we were saying how much we both loved the last one.
Yeah,
True Colours.
Yes, yes.
And we were both looked at this and went, "Oh, it doesn't look great, doesn't it?"
No.
So it doesn't surprise me that Pengi isn't a fan, because this is like a sequel to the first game, right?
Yes, it is the sequel. So you're playing as Max again from the first game, which she is in Before the Storm as well. But yeah, she is from the first game. I'm playing as her. The game itself looks good. I played it in the quality mode, even though it's like 30 frames sort of thing, but it's like very story driven sort of game. Yeah, so you're playing as Max. She's now not a teacher, but she's some sort of like, let's just say teacher, like in a university in New England, art and stuff like that. So you got all new characters and stuff, and like you're friends with one of the like professors and on the other professor, and there's like the English teacher and all that stuff. So you got all new like friends and things like that thing. But I think this is still better than Life is Strange 2. I did not like Life is Strange 2 whatsoever, but Pure in work would tell you that's like one of his favourite, but I did not like that. It's better than that. One of my problems is at the very start you get two options, and it's linked to a trophy as well called Bay or Bay. One of them is save Arcadia Bay. You saved Arcadia Bay in the first game, which I did. That's what I actually did, and that's what I picked. And the other one was that you were sweethearts with Chloe and thing, which I don't like that option, because even if I did save Chloe in the first one, I never romanced Max and Chloe in my Life is Strange, so I didn't. Where's my third choice? So didn't get off with a good start. All the new characters aren't really likable, apart from Moses. Moses is like, yeah, they have new characters. He's great, and Max herself is really irritating. She is not a good character. I don't really know why we went back to Max. Why we didn't get another, I don't know, True Colours 2 or something. On their own thing, and yeah, it's like really like the dialogue is really like cringe as well and stuff like that. I feel like I'm not really the audience, but then it's like, yeah, like this is not great. The dialogue, yeah, and some like yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
There we go. I mean, I'm glad that I've never liked them. So I was never tempted with this, but
yeah, they really should have done another standalone thing like they did with True Colours.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but obviously you can go watch it on my channel. But they're setting up stuff, but still, I would sooner had a let's just do another character again, and keep doing different characters, different places with different powers and stuff like that. And like Max even has different powers in this. Like, okay, why can't we do that sort of thing? Yeah, and the platinum is still kind of easy, but harder than they are normally, because you have to play it twice. You have to select the Bay. Do it one playthrough where you do Bay. One of the playthroughs when you do Bay thing. So I have still got it, and I still have got it physical, because I most probably will go back and get the platinum and do the other playthrough, because I've got like all the platinums on all of them, apart from Life is Strange 2, because I played that on Xbox, and the 2 remasters, because I played them on Stadia thing. But yeah, do you think it is maybe the worst Life is Strange? It's disappointing, because the music's still good and some of the other stuff and that, but yeah. I would pass, Craigie, if I was you.
Yeah, I wasn't going to buy it anyway. Maybe I would try it on a
service. I guess on a service you can still try it, but have you played like the original and Before the Storm?
Oh yeah, I played the first one. Remember, I hate the first one. The first one's dreadful.
First one's so good. I was gonna say, did you play it like the original or the remaster?
The original, I think.
Yeah.
I made the silly choice at the end where I just fucking kill everyone because I was just like, I'm done with this. It's crap.
Oh no, first game's so good. That's another reason why this one's disappointing. Yeah, that's all I've been playing and picking up.
Nice, right.
Yeah.
Corrego.
On the PlayStation, I did the time trial speed run thing on Astrobot. Probably the worst level so far, I'd say.
What, the new one? Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
yeah. The power. It's the power Davy where you can you basically make yourself big and you can float.
Ah.
The blowy uppy power, and it's a very odd one to try and speed run. I mean, there probably is some nuance to it, but I was a little bit. This is one of the only ones I'm like. I'm just gonna get the time that I need to get the 2 bots, and then I'm done. And I don't even think I even bothered to beat Pengi's time. And normally that's not too much of a challenge, is it, Pengi?
No.
But yeah, I was like, right, I'm just gonna get the 2 bots, and I'm done with this. I think there's one more we're getting.
Yeah, one more.
Cool. Hopefully there's some overall leaderboard or something, so I can beat you on that. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd
Yeah.
be great. So we look forward to that next week. I've played a bit more Metaphor ReFantasio. I think I'm about 23 hours in now, I want to say. I think I've got the 4th party member now, boys.
Tutorial then. That's where you're at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got 4th party member. Still going strong on that. And I have, boys, finally finished Silent Hill 2.
Yay.
After 21 hours, I think my save was. Which is, I know that is excessive, but I did kind of check everywhere and try and do as much as I could, as I do tend to on these sorts of games. I did end up, as an effect of my checking everywhere, I did end up with a hilariously high amount of health items. So even after I'd beaten the final boss, I still had 16 meds and 8 syringes or something like that, which is obviously just silly. And I still have quite a lot of ammo as well, I think, because the ammo does get quite plentiful when you're hunting around everywhere. But it's such a strange game, this Dave. So strange, because if you had asked me my first 3 hours of playing this game, I'd been like, oh, rubbing my hands together. This is another RE4 remake of Dead Space from last year. You know, another one where I'm going to be at the end of the year oh, this is my game of the year. This is fantastic. Because it does start out strong, and the quality of it is just fantastic. It looks brilliant. The character animations is brilliant. The voice acting is really good. The music's great. The combat's really good. The story's very good. I like the mystery of it all. I like all the characters and all that. The boss fights are pretty fun. But my God, does this game drag, Dave? Oh my goodness. They really padded this out way too much, I feel. Way too much. Obviously I've not played the first one, but I did look on how long to beat, and I think the first one's 9.5 hours or something like that. Well, not the first one, sorry, the original. The original Silent Hill 2. And I know my 21 hours is a little bit obscene compared to Pengi on 14. But I think even Pengi on 14 said he felt like it did drag. But looking at having to be Silent Hill 2 remake, I think it's 17.5, which I can kind of see. And God, does it feel? You really do feel those hours after a while, Dave. Because I think from what they've done, they basically expanded all the areas that you go to, as in the hospital, the apartments, the prison, and God, it just the problem is they're all kind of feel similar because they're all just pitch black, narrow, claustrophobic corridors, and you're fighting the same 3 enemies in all of those narrow, pitch black, claustrophobic corridors, and you have, 2 then 3 guns, and there's 2/3 guns stay exactly the same. It's not like Resident Evil where you're getting attachments and stuff like that. It does, and it just does. After a while, you're just like, is this ever gonna finish? I got to the prison, And I remember talking to Pengi and him saying how in the original the prison wasn't that long, I think.
No.
And I got to it and I opened up the map and there was like 5 floors and my fucking eyes just rolled. And I was just like, oh. Well, I was getting a little bit done with this towards the end of the hospital. Now I've got another 5 floors, and you get out of that, and I think, right now and you go straight from the prison, Dave, into the labyrinth. There's not even like the other bits, Dave, have a little nice bit in between. You're in the actual town, and you're exploring the town, and those are like the best bits because that's actually really quite cool and. Like it's open and there's different places you can go to. Like you're going to a little bar and there's a bowling alley and there's a strip club and there's you're wandering around, you're exploring. There's lots of story beats, but yeah, you go straight from the prison and you go literally straight into the labyrinth. And the labyrinth is quite long as well. And the labyrinth, Dave, you'd be shocked to hear, is dark, narrow corridors. God, yeah, it is weird. I had no idea what I would score this game because, like I said, it does so much really good, but then it also they just really keep it going for way too long, way too long.
Like the labyrinth is just one thing back in the day, and now they've made it 3 bits.
Yeah. Even like the hotel. I got to the hotel and I was like, oh, this seems like a nice like explory bit with lots of story. And it's that for about 10 minutes. And then it's like, oh yeah, now you're going into the dark corridors again. With the same 3 enemies. And you're like, oh. Okay, we're going back. Okay. So yeah, I was quite glad when it ended. I did I really liked the ending that I got. I really liked the last bit, like the last few bosses. And the last story bits. And I really liked the fact that there's like multiple endings. And the way you get those different endings is quite like it's not just like the classic video game thing is you make a decision and that choice is do I kill like 10 innocent children for no reason or do I not kill 10 innocent children for no reason? You get the bad ending for one and the good ending for the other. It's like I know it's like really weird things of how you've played the game. You get different endings. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some kind of cool jokey endings and stuff like that. So I really again that's another thing they've done really well. But yeah, it does drag. It really does drag. So yeah, strange one, very strange one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got the Maria ending, and you got the Leave ending.
Yeah, which I'm really happy I got because I've watched all of the endings back and seen how you get all of them, and I'm like, I feel like the Leave ending's the best one.
No, the dog ending's the best one.
Yeah, but you've got to do that on like New Game Plus, and you've got to like jump through a load of hoops for that. So, out of the 3 which you could get on your first playthrough, I think I got the one that I was most happy with, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, that's that one. That's that game done. It is scary as all dicks as well, I will say, Davey.
I had 1 jump scare. So you play the jump scare I had.
Yeah, but you're a pussy. You don't have a headset on.
The 1 jump scare I had to Craig, it was in the hotel or the motor at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You're walking, I don't know, upstairs or something, going into the room, and the window opens, and then that opens, so that makes a noise, and then one of the mannequins and jumps up behind you. That made me jump. That was it.
Yeah, but you're Chris
that's
McGelly,
one
aren't you?
jump
You're built differently.
Yeah, I've got a headset on. Yeah, you're. No, it is a very intense, like scary game. So definitely not one for Dave. Definitely, Christ.
Absolutely not.
It'd be the absolute end of you, I think.
Yeah, I've got so much to live for, Craigo.
Yeah. And then on to Xbox. It's just been Call of Duty, really. I think, which I've. Obviously, we've played some more multiplayer. Still enjoying that. I really want to get to the point where we unlock the Model L or whatever it is gun, because apparently that's like the best assault rifle, Davey. So I'm kind of want to get to. I feel like you've got like level 40 though.
Yeah, I know. I've let you down this week by having the death lyric.
Yeah,
so I haven't really been on. I haven't really been playing much. So it's the headset because I don't know if you guys have like when you have like sinusy illnesses, you put a headset on and it just crushes your head. And I was
Yeah,
playing with you for like an
yeah.
hour, and I was like, I love you, Craig, but I need to take this fucking headset off. Like, but
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so I've played a bit more multiplayer anyway, haven't we?
yeah, we need
So
to
still
try.
working on
We need
that.
to try zombies.
Yeah, definitely. So it sounds like it's good because obviously there's people we know who sound like they're enjoying it.
Yeah,
Um, and I have played quite a bit of the campaign as well. I'm doing my classic Craig veteran playthrough, as I always try and do. I've done quite a few missions actually. I think I've probably got like 4 left or something like that. By the sound of it. And it's much better than the last one. If you remember, I moaned quite a bit about the last. Was it Modern Warfare 3?
yeah.
I think it was. I moaned quite a bit about that. It's much better than that. It still is fairly tough on veteran, but it's not like too bad. There's not been any parts where I feel like I'm just like smashing my head against the wall. And it does have some really good like standout missions. Like there's one where it's kind of like an open zone mission, and you are in the desert, and you're basically you get like a hub bit that you have to kill all the people, and then you can take over, and then you can basically just drive around, and there's like multiple objectives all over the map.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, it gives you a map that you can kind of bring up and see. There's 3 main objectives, but then there's also some side stuff to do. And the side stuff's quite cool. Like it kind of ties into the actual level where like there's a downed chopper with some of your teammates that are getting attacked, and if you go and help them, and kind of save them, then you can now use, instead of having the mortar ability, you basically have the predator missile ability in the mission. That's quite fun. And then there's some like anti-air turrets dotted around the map, and if you kill all 3 of them, then you can get the chopper gunner ability. And obviously that's pretty badass, using the chopper gunner ability from multiplayer in this open level. So that's kind of a cool highlight. I've done the like zombie mission that's in the game, which is really cool. I was really not expecting that. I hadn't seen anything about this before. But it basically turns into like a little survival horror game for a level. It's kind of cool.
It's devastating news, isn't it? Devastating news.
Yeah. It even gives you like a little map that you pick up. There's like little mini bosses in the zombies, which is not what you expect. You get a grapple hook ability for that level. It's really trippy. It's quite I was kind of like, what's happened here? It's like they've gone, right, Treyarch guys, we know we've made you make the same Call of Duty game over and over again. And, all these maps for years and years and years. Right now, you've got one level where you can just do something. Be free. This is what they've done. So it's kind of cool. That one there, and then the level straight after that's really good as well, because the level straight after that is the casino level that we saw in the trailers.
Yeah.
Which is like a heist level where you play as like multiple characters, which is really cool. A bit like James Bondy. So that's really good as well. So yeah, there's definitely some real like highlights in the campaign so far from what I've played. So I would recommend giving it a go, especially as it's on Game Pass, even if you're not going to play the multiplayer. I think there's probably some fun to be had in the single player at least. And that's it from me, Davey. That's everything I've played.
Nice, a good solid week of horror. And obviously we're out of October now, so we don't have to play anything scary ever again. It's now the month of fun and joy, and Craigo can play. Fuck knows what Craigo's going to play, but yeah, it'll be fun. Okay, so for me, we'll go with Xbox. So I've been playing more COD with Craig. I've only done the first couple of missions. I've been poorly, so I just haven't been sat in front. But I do want to get through the COD campaign, because I like the look of what I've played so far, and you've talked quite highly of it. Most people have as well. I know we're on the road to prestige on the multiplayer. And we'll get there. We're animals, me and Craig. Animals, so we'll get there. The only other thing on Xbox I've been playing is still playing GTA 4. Really, really enjoying it. Had I not been sick this week, I think I would have finished it. I think I'm on mission 63 of 88. It's just a fun game. It's quite simple in a weird way. The story's quite engaging, and the gameplay is fine enough. compared to the ones that are a bit older. It's it's auto aim, it's got crouching, all that shit, right? So, but yeah, really enjoying GTA. It's just a nice little blast from the past. It's a game I've always wanted to finish, so doing that now is a fun thing to do. Nothing on Switch. You'll be pleased to hear, Pengi.
Woo!
PS5, like I said earlier, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 from Plus. I'm enjoying that. I did go back to Horizon Forbidden West. I played it for about 3 hours. Got to a little bit more of a story beat, and I was enjoying it. And then it went, it's open world again, and I was like, I can't be bothered. It's just so big and boring. Like the bits in between the story are just so boring, which is funny because like in the first game the story bits were it was smaller maps, it was much closer together, so you didn't mind like, there's a ruins on the way, I'll go in there and do that. Whereas this, I'm like, I am trailing my ass for like 20 minutes to get to the next marker, and I just can't be bothered. So I keep trying.
Even like the collectibles and stuff like that were quite good in the first game.
Yeah,
there wasn't that many of them, and they were all marked on the map, and they were like little mini puzzles. So it was like, there's if there was like 100 of them, you'd be like, I'm not even going to bother, because there was like 15. You're like, ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and for context, Horizon Zero Dawn was my favourite PS4 game. I have the platinum. Like I've talked about it many times when we've done lists. Like it's my favourite PS4 game. I adored it. But yeah, it's just too much Forbidden West. I'll be interested to see what you think when you get to it, Craig, because I think you're probably going to agree with us. I think it's just too much. And like Pengi said to me, it's like the DLC is the best bit. But it's like you got to beat so much of the game. Like that shouldn't be the best bit. Like, you know what I mean? The best bit should be the game. But yeah, a bit tedious. Forbidden West. And the only other thing on PS5 I've played is Wheel of Fortune with my girlfriend. We play it all the time. No platinum though, but I've got most of the trophies.
Nice.
And the only other game, Chris Pengelly, that I've played at all this week is the Pokemon trading card game Pocket on the mobile. And it's a very addictive little bastard. They've got a wonderful little loop, Craigo, that doesn't cost you a penny, and you can play against people online, and you can get shiny cards without having to go and spend all your hard-earned money on cards. And it's good. It's really good. No one can make an addictive mobile game like fucking Pokemon, can they? It's wild. But I really enjoyed it. Like genuinely, I've played it online like most days. I'm always in to get my free packs. Yeah, can see why people are addicted to it. Put it that way.
Oh, I can't wait for like the top 10 games of the year and Dave like Pokemon trading card Pocket first.
But you joke. It's probably in the top 10 at the minute for me, if I'm honest. It's certainly knocked open roads out. Put it that way. But yeah, it's one of those, like, if you've got any nostalgia for early Pokemon, it's good. It's really good. It's a really clever. They're very clever, aren't they? They know. I can only imagine how much money people are spending on it. Because whenever I go online, the meta decks that I'm fighting against are hilarious. Like 3 Mewtwo's opening, I'm like, fucking hell, you must have paid hundreds of pounds to get all these cards.
I've not been in work, but I expect someone in work has spent a whole lot.
Oh yeah.
Have they, Craig? Have they spent a lot on it?
I don't know. If they have, tell it quietly.
That's the thing about it being online. You will listen to this and be like, oh no, my secret's out. But yeah, that's it. That's the bit, because I've been, if I've not been asleep, I've been sort of hanging around a bathroom this week. So it's got a lot of play, to be honest with you. But yeah, I am hoping to play. I really want to get through GTA 4 because I really would like to start Death Stranding as my like Christmas game. I'm in the mood for it, which is weird because I don't usually get in the mood.
Especially when you get to the snowy bit, you're like, oh, it's Christmas.
Well, it's one of those, like, this is the test, right? Like, you've talked so highly of it, and I said you're not the only one. No offense, Chris. If you were the only one saying it was good, I definitely wouldn't have bought it. But I'm intrigued to see if Mr. Hideo is indeed got the stuff, Craigo. Oh god! While we were talking, it got a shiny gloom. Lovely. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Good podcast, early podcast for us as well. We've got the rest of the weekend. Excited to get this up, and then next week I have no idea what the topic's going to be. Is anything coming out this week, Chris, that we're going to talk about?
I might play some Lego Horizon.
Some Lego Horizon. Could be the Lego edition. We'll all get little Lego figures made.
Mayor or a pro, very unlikely, but you know.
Yeah, let's do initial bets, Craigo. Before or after on the Chris Pengelly Pro purchase. before December 1st or after December 1st?
I reckon we go. Maybe, yeah. I don't know, I was thinking this year or next year, but
I think 100% this year.
yeah, I think you're probably right. So I think December's probably more of a thing, isn't it?
And
I'm going to go before December.
Ooh, okay. I'll take that
I
back.
Yeah, I think.
I think
I think he just needs to man up and buy the bloody more expensive disc drive at this point.
I think he buys it today. I think he comes off this podcast. He's got the rest of the day. He clicks and collects at the nearest Argos, which is a Sainsbury's. Gets in his little car, alerts the Wellington authorities to lower the bridge and get the horses out of the way so he can drive out. Get his. Is it a kebab house or a pizza? The one takeaway in Wellington.
Yeah.
Get your big fat pizza.
We have. Look, I had takeaway yesterday. So.
Get a salad on the way in.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself some zero sugar Monster Energy, and I think you sit in front of that fucker and you just pro to your heart's content. You live stream it. You give me and Craig a ring, and you tell us how fun it is, and we're just like, oh, Pengi, my boy. I think you just do it. Why don't you just keep both?
There's almost a reality TV show here, isn't it? Of Pengi, like in his adventure to how far does he have to go to get a disc drive?
I honestly don't. I don't think you could drive anywhere in the UK and buy one right now. That like legitimately from a shop.
I like the idea of Pengi was wandering around France.
There's been a shipment
into.
Fucking, there's been one shipment that's into fucking Georgia, and he's like, I'm there.
Penguin starts a fucking literal war in Europe.
Yeah, but he gets his disc drive. It's like an episode of South Park when Cartman wants a Wii, and he goes into like the future, starts loads of wars. That's Chris Pengelly and his hunt. But yeah, just buy one, Chris. We want a review. We need an episode for next week to be the Chris Pengelly. We need pro unboxing videos, we need pro live streams, and we need a pro first impressions and a pro review. And you're the only man that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So think of the content.
I'll have a word of your boss, Pengi. I'll tell him that you're not allowed. You've got to stay on for a few hours. And
just keep both PlayStations until the disc drive's available. It's fine. I told you that Amazon are doing it interest-free payments, 5 payments at the moment for the Pro, £160 a month, I think. So you just do that. It's only £160 a month. What's that to Chris Pengelly? Nothing.
It isn't the cost that's the problem. It's like, I can't get the disc.
Exactly. You get it when it's £160, and then you've got 5 months to pay it off before you need to sell your other one for games and a disc drive. No. It's genius, Chris. It's genius.
Mm-hmm. No.
But anyway, thank you for watching this episode of the Safe Star 3 Gamescast. We will be back next week, hopefully with Chris's pro impressions. But until then, we'll see you next time.
Bye.